go volleyball in the night again. The Park girls are playing down in Danville. No, Decatur tonight.
We'll call a meeting to order, Tax Committee, November 3rd, 9 a.m. We'll check the do we not have bill listing?
I think it's attached to the,
Oh, okay.
no, exactly.
Okay. Have too many papers this morning. Any observations, questions? Move on the claims report.
I'll make a motion.
The motion is Jed, a second. Any questions or conversation on the bill? Motion to move the claims to the county board. In a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion passed. Are there any public comments today?
I have a question. It just recently came to my attention that we're not being reimbursed for the charges of these dogs that are picked up. Why is that?
I don't know if that is the case.
I've been told by good source we're not being reimbursed as we should be, as we're able to be.
Okay.
From who?
Don't matter.
Each city is responsible. If we pick up it from a city, they reimburse us.
As I understand, the dogs are not picked up unless the bill is paid by individuals who own the dogs. Then, if there's we eat the cost for the dogs that are in the unincorporated areas of the county. We eat the cost and we either euthanize or pass them on if they're adoptable to organizations that adopt them out. If we're called by the village, then it's the village's responsibility to reimburse us for our costs.
So when a person picks up his dog after it's been picked up, he has to pay at that time?
Yes.
For the dog?
Before he gets...
And we're not ever billed for that one?
We're billed for it, but he pays it also. I mean, how do I say it? We're billed for it by the people that do the work, Shay Cobb and Dr. Hughes. And those are the costs that are paid by the individual that owns the dog. So we pay it out, but we are reimbursed by the owner.
That same thing goes for wild animals. If you have a piece of if you have a wild animal on your property,
such as my daughter had one down on Lake Iroquois. She had to pay to get it extracted, but the association reimbursed her.
But we don't deal with wild animals. We as an animal control.
But yeah, but didn't the Iroquois County, Iroquois County come in and took care of took the animal away,
How long ago was that?
last summer?
Oh, what a name.
Cost $60.
There are people in Iroquois County that do that sort of thing. But we do not, as a normal course, do that. I can't say that it's never happened.
No, I thought sure it was
It's
animal.
independent contractors, basically,
Pardon?
independent contracts.
Well, this was animal control. Who we called, or I didn't, but my daughter did.
Like in Clifton, I think Bill Gilquist does that over that area, you know, they call
Dale,
it.
when we're reimbursed, does that money go to Anita?
It goes to the treasurer.
Go to the treasurer?
Yes.
Yeah.
How much reimbursement do you receive?
From villages, is that what you're talking about, when a village calls it?
Well, any of it we should be getting.
From the individuals, it comes in as soon as it happens and they bring the money out.
Yeah. For the villages?
The villages doc does that billing, and then they send the money to us. I would have to look to see what we've gotten from the villages.
I would-
don't think it's a lot.
I would add to this that there's a certain amount of this that is difficult to follow because of the software that we're in at the present time. Hopefully that's going to change when we get that in process. We're still waiting for that to happen. With the change in personnel and or location or whatever is happening that I don't know about. So we'll have a better handle on that as far as what's been done, what's been billed, and when it's been reimbursed. But as far as there's no report that we can go to that says this was done, this was billed, and this was paid. It takes going through a variety of reports in order to get that.
Maybe the process is flawed then, huh?
At this point, it is. There's no doubt. Anything else, Larry?
That's all, thank you.
Anything from the committee members that they would like to bring up at this point in time? Reports from the departments. Mindy?
Just continuing on with the animal control part of it, it's been at least a month ago, I had given Kyle the reorder form for the dog tags for 2016, so those get ordered, and the phone number gets changed on the tag, because Kirtland's the treasurer's office, so that needs to be changed. I guess he has not followed through with that, because we got a fax yesterday from the tag company about a reorder for 2016, so that needs to be taken care of. Get those ordered in the phone number change.
Okay.
Approaching quickly. We took the fax over and gave to Amanda, I believe. So she's got that information. That's that on the
Okay, thank you.
We had our tax sale on Monday, October 26th. Everything went well. It was, again, video and audio recorded, so we got that in the safe. We sold 343 parcels. It was 5 left from last year, so that's good. Of those 343 sold, 73 went to the trustee, which was a little bit more than the previous year. That's done and over with, and we'll do our final distribution before the 30th of November.
You say before?
Before.
That you don't have a tentative?
No.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's everything.
Any questions from you? If not, thank you. Lisa?
We're working on a lot of little things that have to be done before the big things take place, like the election through spring and tax extension. Working a lot on drainage, which is consuming. Debbie works a lot with Susan in the assessment office to keep the drainage rolls, the drainage parcels updated. For instance, if a parcel is split that is in a drainage district, I believe it's Susan that figures out, divides the drainage assessment on those parcels. So those have to be kept updated. And then right now the attorneys for the drainage districts, they come in and they get, for a charge, copies of the drainage rolls so they can get the drainage levies ready. And then we're also getting in a lot of other levies too right now, and we handle some phone calls from the different taxing bodies assisting them with getting ready to do their levies. Last week, I spent mostly processing the tax sale. Tax redemption is real brisk right before and right after the tax sale. So that'll keep up for a couple weeks and then it'll fall back off. And then also this week, letters go out to the waste haulers in Iroquois County along with an application in order to get their 2016 stickers for their trucks. So that's mostly what we're doing right now.
Okay. Any questions for Lisa? Did we get the delinquent tax agent issue in work?
Haven't heard it. Is Jim the one that's going to prepare a lease? I have no expertise, not lease, contract. I'm not a contract writer. He needs to write a contract or somebody needs to write a contract, I guess. I don't know that anything has been done with it.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Albert?
Board review is going through their process right now. They're in session taking complaints till the end of the month. We have already received our tentative multiplier from the state of 1, which is good. And going through that and just kind of watching, as we discussed in P&P, some interesting legislation in the veto session. They can't get a budget, but they can still mess a bunch of other stuff up. So we're watching that closely. Could have some effects statewide plus locally. So
If you wouldn't mind, would you
enlighten them
a little bit?
A bill got introduced, the Senate Bill 1488, to clean some language up in the general homestead exemption. It wasn't a big deal at the time. Well, Senator Barbara Flynn Curry decided to attach an amendment to it, which would give county boards by resolution, if they act within 6 months of the passage of the bill, they could raise the general homestead exemption from $6,000 to $14,000. And so, obviously, right now we currently give about $50 million comes off our assessed valuation just for general homestead. That doesn't count the seniors and the veterans and all that. Just on that, if it went to 14, that would go from 50 to about 120 million. So it'd be a big deal. Now, the other problem with that is it's up to board resolution, so it's not required that you do that at this point, if it would pass. The other problem would be for Lisa's office during extension. If one of our neighboring counties that we have an overlapping taxing district with would actually pass it and we wouldn't, then the extension would get complicated because there would be different exemptions applied, and there'd have to be a apportionment done. Either DevNet and Deb and Lisa would have to figure it out on their own, or the state would have to do it. And if the state does it, it would delay extension dramatically, because it takes them about, the only rural area that do a lot of that right now is Cook County with the collar counties, because of a lot of overlapping districts, and it takes them about 2 to 3 months to do it. So, and you know who would get priority in that situation. So it would muddle up things quite a bit, besides the impact on spreading the tax burden to business and farmers. So that's the synopsis of Senate Bill 1488. I would assume that the School Board Association is strongly opposing it, and I thought we heard the County Board Association is not real thrilled about it either, with other, everybody struggling for every dollar and penny. But it could become a political football in some of your collar counties, because, hey, vote for me and I'll give you another $80,000 off your taxable assessed valuation. So that's the fear. And once you introduce something like this, and it's not mandatory, but some counties do it, it ain't far down the road when all of a sudden it says, let's make it mandatory. What the heck? Make it simplify the process. So they just keep giving away the farm.
And just another way that the wonderful people that work in Springfield like to do good deeds for the taxpayer at the expense, not of themselves, but at the expense of the local government. Just blows my mind. Anything else, Bob?
No. Good.
Any questions for Bob? Shay?
So starting to go down, starting to get cold outside. So we only had 25 cases total. We picked up 6 dogs, which kind of going a little further depth. 3 of those were claims, which means the owner paid for all the fines, registration, vaccines, everything. The other 3 were actually brought into us, therefore I don't get paid. So definitely it doesn't come from anywhere. So that was all the dogs. We picked up 3 dog bites and 1 cat bite. And that's all. No bats or anything. That season's over, so everything else is good.
No bad?
No bats.
They were all last month.
Yep. I'm okay with that.
Any questions for Shay? Okay, thank you, Shay. The 2015 letter says 16, but it's 15. That's the tax sheet.
Oh, do I have 16?
Bob, have you seen anything that indicates to you that we should change the $495 million figure?
No, I think we got plenty of cushion. So we don't think we'll leave anything on the table. Just, in discussion with Mr. Devine through legal channels, it looks like I'm going to be forced to put on the wind towers as of September 1st. Said we'd lose in court. So I am not, this is just, I'm doing this on as this one case basis. I'm not going to change my assessment policy at this time. If we run into trouble down the road because of it, we'll run into trouble down the road because of it. But Jim advised me through, with the aggressiveness of the Herscher law firm, Herscher School District law firm, it would be, he said, I don't think I can defend you, so I don't want you to go to jail. So he said, you better do it. So then that will raise that, that won't put that, we have enough cushion in that 495 for the assessed valuation that will go on with those towers. I'm going to put them on board review. That will still be, it'll be in there. So to raise it to 500 would, I don't think would be wasting time on paperwork.
500.
You follow me?
500 now is no problem paperwork wise. But
I mean, if you want to stick that up to 500 million, just make sure you don't leave anything on the table. You can, but I don't think it's necessary. We've put quite a bit of cushion already in the 495. Plus, I see a couple possible border review cases that might come up yet that might be, offset anything from the other way. So. He's my legal advisor, so I'm doing what he wants me to do.
we must be, better not say that.
How many wind towers is that?
42.
42.
I do not understand how past practice doesn't carry that.
I agree.
Okay.
He's the attorney.
$495 million, the upper right-hand corner, the 2015 assumed taxable EAV. We'll just go down the row this time instead of jumping around. When you assume 490 million taxable EAV in the county of Iroquois, the corporate or the main county fund max rate is 0.27, which yields a levy at the maximum rate of $1,336,500. IMRF is you need to levy the amount that you need to do what you need to do for IMRF, and that's been determined by county board to be with the extra $600,000 payment on what is due at IMRF to be $1,650,000, the same as last year. County highway is a max rate of 0.10, which yields a levy of $495,000. Bridges is a max rate of 0.05, yielding a $247,500. Mental health is a requested amount by mental health for their budget They have a .15 maximum rate, which this does not approach that maximum rate. It is, the maximum rate would yield like 700 some thousand. They have determined they are not in need of that much. They need $585,000. Matching tax, another highway fund, .05 max rate, $247,500. Public health's request does not approach the maximum rate of .10 either. Their request for cost is, for budget is $400,000. Liability insurance, another fund that we request what we need to handle and to have the balance on hand at the end of the fiscal year that we desire at $300,000. Social Security, the same deal. You levy for what you need. It's a zero max rate, and our needs are $400,000. Veterans Assistance does not approach the max either. The max rate is .03. Their request is $30,000 for the budget. Unemployment insurance is another zero max rate fund that you levy for what you need, what the costs imply, and for your balance on hand. And that's at $10,000 because it has unemployment insurance. Our unemployment insurance costs have dropped amazingly, and we currently have more than needed in that fund, but to keep it active, our $10,000 levy. Workman's comp, another zero max rate, $50,000 to fulfill those needs. Tort and liability is the soil and water levy to cover their liability insurance. Their request out of their budget is $2,000. Co-op extension is the request of $101,300. That's the same as it's been for the last several years. Persons with developmental disabilities is a max rate of .10, and they have requested the max rate of $495,000. Historical documents is a max rate of .002. They have requested a max rate for that, which yields a levy of $9,900. For a total levy of $6,359,700 compared to last year's extension of $6,235,337, and the percentage of this year's levy request compared to last year's extension is 101.99%, or a 1.99% increase. This is essentially what we've determined and logged, that we will make a final, pass it finally next month. No reason we can't do it now, but it's just historically been done in December. It's due the last Tuesday in December. Things haven't changed. but we usually always do the levies in December, so we'll get that listed on a different sheet, and it will, barring any unforeseen changes, it will read with these numbers. Does anybody have any questions? If not, we'll be presenting that to this committee next month. Or December, I guess. But we want to finalize it. Well, this is November. Okay. These will be the final numbers barring any unforeseen change. In December, at our committee meeting, we will pass it along to the county board to be passed. Yes?
I've got a real stupid question.
No.
Who puts all these figures together? Do you do that?
Yeah.
And where do you?
Well, I get most of them from Anita,
Oh,
and out of the records, out of the records from past years. But the rates, I mean, they're all determined. The blue lines are determined by percentage. The green lines are determined, yes, by what things have cost us and projections as to what it will cost in the future. And the orange lines are created by the listed organizations that request the amount that they want levied.
now, just because they request it doesn't necessarily mean they'll get it. Or does it mean they'll get it, whatever is requested?
None of these amounts will be received completely. These amounts will be slightly smaller because the $495 million number is a guesstimate, and in reality it will end up being a little bit below that, and your percentages will be a little less than, because you're up against a cost. If you're up against the max, you're going to get less money. If you're requesting dollars, you'll get that amount.
Always want a little cushion to operate on.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Did I explain it okay, Anita?
Perfect.
That'll be the day.
Satisfied, thanks.
Okay. Anything else on the 2015 levy? We'll talk about 2016 next week. That's always a question, by the way, because this is a 2015 levy payable in 2016. The same as the budget that we're doing is a 15-16. The money we're going to receive from this levy is received in 16 from the 2015 tax year. Okay, any old business? Any new business? I would entertain an adjournment motion made by Dan,
Might as well contribute something.
second by Jed. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.